Yeah. 1738.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Manuel, and there is breaking news which our 1738 studio has just received. We have just been enlightened of the news that Abraham Lincoln has signed the Emancipation Proclamation to now abolish the authority of people owning slaves legally. However, questions may arise. Why is signed in the middle of the US Civil War? Our political correspondent, Chris Brown, has sent this report.
The US Civil War. It may be the bloodiest and most ruthless war in history, but the outcome will determine the fate of the innocent, penurious fugitives known as the slaves. This matter has grown into something which cannot be ignored by anyone, and due to contradictions and brawls, America is split into two, the Confederacy and the Union, the North and the South, where the Confederacy is willing to keep the slaves. After conducting our research, speaking to other politicians, we now understand that the Emancipation Proclamation at this stage of the war is a tactical decision by the President of the Union, Abraham Lincoln, and a very shrewd decision indeed, as it will mean that the Union's army will eventually gain approximately 4 million soldiers who are willing to give up their lives to fight against the Confederacy. Behind me is Hattie Mabel Dorothy Drew Lewis from Alabama, who shall speak to concerning the Emancipation Proclamation.
I'm here with Hattie Mabel Dorothy Drew Lewis in Alabama.
Thank you, sir.
So, Hattie Mabel Dorothy Drew Lewis, how do you feel about the position which the Confederacy is in at the moment?
Well, first and foremost, we need the slaves to work in the plantations to grow cotton and vegetation so we can feed our families and clothe them. Hence why it's important for the Confederacy to keep on fighting, because we can win and get the justice which we need and deserve.
So, do you think that it is justice to rely on other people to do your everyday necessities? I mean, all of America knows how the slaves were being treated, and it isn't right. What are your views?
Well, we don't have enough people to do the job. We need them.
And what about the way they are treated? Do you think it's right?
Sorry, I do not want to say.
At least tell our viewers what you think.
I have no answer.
Well, that's the situation which the Confederacy is in, this gruesome battle.
This is Chris Brown on BBC News, 1738. And back to you, Manraj, at the studio.
Thank you, Chris Brown. Well, this battle commenced in April 1861, when both armies met at Fort Sumter, South Carolina. This battle was in the hands of both armies to decide the fate of mankind. Such a war which will revolutionize history the way that our ancestors will know it. So the Union forces are led by the visionary leader Ulysses S. Grant, with the Confederacy in the hands of the brilliant military general Robert E. Lee. We shall now hand over to Chris again, who has a live report with Tabatingi Baby Kante of Kentucky. Hello, Chris.
I'm back with Tatakumbu Bibikante from Kentucky. So, tell me your views of the Civil War and how it's affected American citizens and families.
This civil war has affected many people. My family are distraught after they have acknowledged how the slaves were mistreated by merciless human beings who should be tortured for eternity as far as I'm concerned. How can someone commit to such anguish? It's a travesty of justice. With us the Union, the only people who sympathize with the slaves, it is only our duty to help them and liberate them from the captivity which they are struggling to survive under. We can only understand the pain which they had to tolerate. The whipping, the flogging, the horrible, horrible situations which they had to live through. It's a nightmare just thinking of it.
I believe that all of the Union know what it's like in the life of a slave. And in your perspective, how do you think the war has gone for your army so far?
Well, by God's grace, majority of the facts are going in our way. We have a very experienced government in the form of Abraham Lincoln, who for us is the Son of God. We have a population of 22 million compared to a 9 million of the Confederacy. In addition to that, we are more industrialized than our opposition, which is a huge advantage.
Well, there you go. This is how much it means for the people of America after the Emancipation Proclamation.
Yes, indeed. It is a huge turning point in the US Civil War, and who knows what will happen next in this battle, which has an immense significance for the people of America, as we have spoken from two citizens from the Confederacy and the Union. Mr. Lincoln has recently said, in giving, and I quote, "In giving freedom to the slave, we assure freedom to the free, honourable alike in what we give and what we preserve. Other means may succeed, this could not fail. The way is plain, peaceful, generous, just a way which, if followed, the world will forever applaud, and God must forever bless." I'm Manuel from the BBC News 1738 studio, and on a day in which God has stated his words in the form of the Emancipation Proclamation, goodbye.
Yeah. 1738. I'm like